When we first arrived, this was just clear paddock. We've built the house, we've done all the landscaping.
It's just been wonderful, just appreciate our bush,
And the
birds
community.
and the animals in the community.
Yeah, we've been in Horsham for about 31 years. I was a teacher, secondary teacher, so we moved from Shepparton.
Yeah, so when we moved here we had 3 very young children, and my time was just spent looking after the children.
The property was up for auction, and I came out originally to have a look at it, and I don't know what it was about it, but it was lovely bush, and it was a big area. It's 300 acres of bush right alongside the Grampians National Park, and over the years we've made it into our own national park, I guess. Well, when we first arrived, this was just clear. This, where we're looking at here, this was clear paddock. We've built the house, we've done all the landscaping.
Put in the ponds. I just love all the ponds, because I love hearing the frogs and watching the birds. It's a real paradise for the birds, and it's paradise for us too.
We have echidnas. Like recently, a couple of years ago, we had a puggle, a baby echidna that we checked every week to make sure it was growing well. We've had powerful owls produced on the property. So, we've learned a lot about the natural living things here. We have frog monitoring, bird monitoring, and some threatened species monitoring locally on our property. So it's covenanted with Trust for Nature. It's land for wildlife property. Been fantastic and been great for the kids. The kids grew up able to go out into the bush and play and have fun and come back. It's 30 k's from Horsham, so we had to travel in to work and to school and so on. And so that divorced them from having a bigger town and made them more reliant on the local people in the area, probably.
When the kids were very, very young, we had a group of mums, and we used to go off into the Grampians and go on picnics and take them for walks and show them flowers and point out the birds.
That whole thing has led to a Christmas cave party that's held annually in one of the neighbours' houses in a cave in the mountains. And I don't know, 100 people, 80 people come together.
It's just magic. Just appreciates our bush and
the
birds
community.
and the animals in the community. Someone in Horsham applied for funding for a circus group. It wasn't specifically for women, but that's how it turned out. For 45 years old plus, and we had a reasonably large group. We did have a trainer, and we don't have one now, but at one stage we felt we couldn't continue because we didn't have a trainer, and then we were asked by a few groups to do a gig. So the emails went round, and about 5 or 6 of us put our hands up and said, oh yeah, well, I think we should get together and have a go. So we're continuing to do that weekly. Back in 1985, a group of community members thought it would be good to have a Horsham Community Centre. As part of that, we had some funding for to produce a newsletter, and I started the newsletter, and this is the 26th year I've been doing it, and that newsletter is a bi-monthly newsletter.
In a small community, you do get involved. You can avoid it, but it's best not to if you want people to help you with things. We were putting solar on our house, so I thought, well, make it a community event. So just by ringing around, I got 60 odd people to get involved in a solar program. So not just in Horsham and Wartook, but right around the whole Horsham area. We've recently got a grant to put solar panels on the hall. Part of that grant is for education. We got the grant because we're going to do an education program to help people understand the benefits of solar, and that should then go around through the community. If we can help people use less and work more wisely, that's great. I'm interested in sustainable natural resource management, so using it wisely and doing the best we can with what we got. Our house is run on solar power. All our water is collected from rainwater, so we're pretty well self-sufficient here. Well, I'm now chairman of Wimmera Mallee Sustainability Alliance, and one of the main aims of that is to reduce energy use and to gain alternative energy sources. So we're applying for federal and state funding to introduce biomass generators. One of the things I'm interested in there is we have a lot of, out of Horsham we have the Doon landfill, and a lot of the shires put their waste into the landfill. Well, that should go through an incinerator anyway, to burn the rubbish that's not recyclable, to burn it and produce electricity. And we should be getting our electricity from sources like that, not from coal. I just feel now, especially with climate change, I just feel there's a great impetus now to go and do something, and I just can't understand people who either deny that something's happening or just don't even notice. Community is really important. The environment's part of that whole thing.
We live in such a lovely environment that it's just great being here.
Yeah, we want a legacy to be that we've improved things. We haven't just used everything, we've improved it.
Yes.